First rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. The second rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
อย่าวิ่งข้าวผม Hey guys, welcome to the day.
Hello guys, and welcome back to episode 18, I believe, of Day in the Life. Apologies, it's been a while. I haven't picked up the camera in literally weeks, right? I haven't done any trades on the £100 account, and I haven't even thought about doing a day in the life for a little while either. So since we last spoke, we've had, some interesting stuff happen. We had a good friend of ours, Carrick, in to film some promo stuff for our website. His company is called Ground Level Up. I'm going to leave a link in the description for them, and I'm going to play now just a little 30-second video that they made for us. But for now, I've had such a busy week in the markets, and I'm going to get into that a little bit more, talk you through some of the trades I've been in, some of the losses I've had, and some of the trades I'm in just now. I'm going to go grab some breakfast, and then I'll take you through my day. Okay, so first step of the day for me, and my top priority, is to go over the markets I trade and see what's happened in the Asian session, and kind of work out a little bit of a plan of what I'm going to be trading for the day ahead. So I'll usually do that for 10 to 15 minutes, take some notes, and then I'll go ahead and grab some coffee and breakfast and get settled in for the day. I'm going to get KB mugs, but I wanted them matte black and white.
Oh, yeah, stop it. I'd have 3 or 4 cups of coffee today, right there.
Just do a wee spinning chair. Yeah, like that. Journal review time. So it's around about 9:30, so it's time to get on with our morning trading plan review with our traders. So basically what we're doing here is looking at what setups they have in mind for the day ahead, what news announcements and stuff like that they have to be aware of as well. And this is something that we can actually look back on at the end of the day and see if they have deviated from it, see how well they're following their plan. If they're not, what effect is that having on the trading? If they are, what effect is that having on the trading as well? So we're gonna get on with this, and I'll catch up with you guys in a bit. So it's now around about 11:30. I've done all of my morning tasks, checked up on all of the KB members, and actually posted some analysis breakdowns for the members in the community group. Now, I did mention in the previous clip, I believe, that this week for me hasn't been that great. Now, it's not really in terms of my performance. I've not been, breaking loads of my rules or anything like that. But in terms of P&L, I've lost 2 or 3 trades in a row. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a bit more of a back seat today. I'm going to monitor the markets that I trade, but I'm going to go through with a fine-tooth comb, and I'm actually preparing a little report on my trades for the week. What I could have done differently, you know, early exit signals that I perhaps missed, areas where I could have added to winning trades, etc. So I'm going to get on with that now, and I'll catch up with you guys in a bit. So earlier I did actually close out of a trade on silver, but I forgot to film it. If I just show you in my MetaTrader here, you can see all of the details of that. So I made £1,100 on this trade, which is just under 3% gain on the account. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move over onto my screens, and I'm going to give you an analysis breakdown of this trade. Okay, so we're looking at a chart of silver against the dollar here on TradingView. Now, when I'm on this daily time frame, really what I'm looking for are levels of structure in the market on the higher time frame where I believe price could go to, or price could encounter you know, on the lower time frames whilst in the trade. Okay, so I'm really trying to work out where price wants to go. Now we have this deep swing low below market, we have a swing high above market here, and then we have a level of structure in here which I'm quite interested in. Now, the reason I'm interested in this level of structure specifically is because here you can see we had two rejections there as resistance, and then if I bring you back over here, you can see we've got some resistance there and some support back here as well. It's a clearly visible level here on this daily time frame. Now, you may want to also mark out sort of minor levels of structure that you can see from this daily time frame. One of them would be this, and when I say a minor level, it's not necessarily, you know, like a tiny level or anything like that. To me, that's a pretty good level, but you know, it's not as important to me as those big deep swings. Now, dropping down onto the lower time frame here, here is that swing that I was looking at from the daily, right? And again, we have this level of structure in there, which was that middle level, and we have a double top there. So this is the level that I'm predominantly interested in to get involved in a trade to the downside. The important thing for me here on this daily chart is that we had a nice level of resistance that price broke out of very aggressively, and as it traded back down into this level, it failed to actually find any support there. I actually did get squashed on this trade earlier in the week, basically looking to get long off of those prior highs. Price just steamrolled straight down through that level. I had an order in around this level here, price just crashed down to my stop. So as the market switches bias, you have to be very adaptable, very flexible, and ready to actually take the other side of that trade. That's not saying, you know, if you get stopped out, instantly jump in the other direction. But what you want to be doing is looking for these areas where price, you know, the trade bias becomes invalid, and anyone who's potentially still trying to hold longs is getting pressed pretty hard against their stop here. That's where you want to start to take advantage of that, right? As price begins to look like it's going to trade up during the London session yesterday, I got a fib in from this swing high here to the swing low, and I can see that I've got 61.8 fib confluence up at this level here. So that becomes a level that I want to actually trade from. Now, I'm going to mark out that swing low there. You can see I've got bang on 61.8 fib confluence there. And basically what I'm looking to do now is to get in a short position from that level. An order goes in with a stop above that bearish engulfing and a target of that low there for a 1 to 4 risk reward. Now, as price tracks forward, you can see we trade straight up into that level. We fill that order, you know, just a couple of ticks beyond that order. It was very close to actually not getting a fill for me due to the spreads on silver, and then subsequently throughout the next session we started to trade down. Now, as price trades down, something I like to do is mark out areas of structure that price could encounter difficulty at. So of course we have a level of structure in there, and we've also got a level in here. You know, we do have a level further down, but we're marking out the ones that the price is going to be encountering soonest. And as we track forward, you can see price does have difficulty. It stops just ahead of that low, which was coming into this morning, trades down, and we see a fairly significant rejection. Now, when we saw this rejection, I initially started to feel a little bit uneasy about the trade and potentially thinking we could actually, we may actually need to get out. And then when price printed this bullish hammer here, I just closed the trade for just over sort of a 1 to 1.6. So not huge. It's around 3.5% for me, or just under 3% rather, 2.5%. And that was the result on the trade. Now, if we actually track forward, you'll see price trades down into that next level of structure, puts in a bullish engulfing, and that brings us pretty much up to date. So ended up getting out of this trade a little bit early, unfortunately, but using that price action as an early exit signal and not wanting to run the trade past where it needs to go. So it's now 5 PM. We're having our weekly meeting with our website developer to go over some stuff for the educational platform that we're looking to launch in future, which we're really, really excited about. So we're going to get on with this, and I'll catch you guys in a bit. Science. That's not so good. Put that. So it is Friday the 16th of October. Now, as I spoke about yesterday, I've had a couple of losers this week. In fact, for the week, I'm down around about 2R. Now, of course, that isn't really, terrible results or anything like that, but my results this week have been, relatively up and down. I've taken a good handful of trades, and I've made a few decisions that potentially have actually missed out on some opportunities. So, I did have a few setups I was looking at that went on to hit target without me, and then, a couple of setups that I did end up favouring and actually taking ended up being losers. So it's very common when traders hit a losing patch for, a lot of psychological issues to creep in. Now, a few of these could be, one, for example, revenge trading, where any setup they see in the market, they convince themselves that it's a really good trade, and they take it trying to claw back the loss that they've made earlier in the week. Now, for some traders, they actually experience the opposite. Rather than revenge trading, they become overly cautious, and whenever they see good setups that fit their plan, they actually struggle to execute. And what that does is it makes it very difficult for them to make that money back. Another thing that I see very often with, some of the guys that we actually teach here, some of the guys that we teach in our community and stuff like that, is that when they hit a couple of losing trades, they actually scale down their risk because, they're worried about losing more money. And what this does, they'll typically hit then, a run of winners, but because they've decreased their risk, they actually, really struggle to make that money back. And it's just this sort of vicious cycle. So if you do hit a losing patch, or you have a week where you maybe feel like you're not performing too well, the best thing to do is literally what I'm doing right now. I'm stopping trading for the week. There are a couple of setups that I can see today, but I'm not actively looking to trade. If those setups present themselves, I will enter, of course. But I'm focusing today, breaking down all of my trades for the week. That includes the trades that I've thought about taking and not taking. That includes the trades that I did take that won, the trades that lost, etc., etc. And really what I'm trying to do here is build a report of my performance for the week and work out if perhaps this week's results were due to me performing poorly, or maybe the strategy just not working well in these market conditions. So really we're looking to see what we could have done better, and that is the most important thing in your trading. If you are taking losses or you hit a bad patch, is to work out why. You know, recognizing that your performance hasn't been so great is something that's relatively easy to do, but working out why is the only way you're going to be able to improve. You have to work right to the root of the issue and say, this happened because of this, and that will allow you to find the solution, right? And then in future, it will allow you to prevent that from happening again. You know, prevention is better than cure. And if you can work out an issue that you have and, you know, keep that in your mind, build that into your rules, it's going to prevent it happening in future, and, you know, it's overall going to enhance your performance. So today is going to be spent building that report. It's not going to be super interesting for you guys watching this day in the life, but what I will do is get a catch up with the traders on our trading floor at some point today. They have all crushed it this week. You know, I think Jake has made like 4 or 5%, and I believe Calvin's made 3 or 4% as well, and they both have, you know, a couple of trades running in profit. So I'm going to get on with this report, and then shortly we're going to catch up with those guys and see how they're getting on. Look at the mess on these desks. What is that all about?
Productivity.
Okay, Calvin, so how's this week gone for you in the markets?
Yeah, this week's gone pretty well. Been fairly picky in the markets, but got involved in a DAX trade and ended up making 3.1%.
Okay, Jake, so how's this week gone for you?
It's been good. It's been quite active, more active than usual. A lot of ups and downs, but I've had 3 wins, 2 break-evens, 2 losses. I'm currently in a trade on dollar CAD. I've got a couple of positions open for about $400 in profit.
And what's your overall P&L for the week?
Overall, so far is $2,195.
And you've got what running?
About $400 on there, so hopefully finish the week on a positive.
So that was our little update on how the traders are actually getting on. Really good week for the guys here on the trading floor, despite me not actually having a good week myself. Now, that is something I actually like to see, you know, when I'm maybe not having such a good week that they are, and maybe vice versa as well. I think it's very important when you're on a trading floor that, you know, everybody isn't trading the same trades, the same ideas and stuff like that. Because what it means is that when we're all managing, you know, out of the same pot of capital, if one person has a down week, the whole floor has a down week, and it can be really bad, right? So typically, that kind of difference in, you know, some people doing well, some people doing maybe not so well at the same time, it lets things kind of balance out, and it means those fluctuations in the actual fund's performance aren't going to be as large when we do actually get to that stage. Now, I have also got a Nando's on order, which I'm really looking forward to, a little bit of an end of week treat. So really looking forward to this. I'm gonna get on with a little bit more work, and I'll catch up with you guys in a bit.
Hi guys, welcome back to Neve's office. Neve trading.
That's going in, you know. So it is now Saturday, and that pretty much wraps up this trading week. Now, although I ended the week, you know, in a little bit of loss, I'm actually really happy with how the week went in terms of the progress that we're actually making here at KB Trading. We got out some really good content, and the traders here on the trading floor are making, you know, exceptional progress. Now, as many of you know, we do have plans to actually open a prop firm within the next year and to be funding these traders with our own capital. And, you know, every week that goes by is just a step in the right direction for them and for ourselves as well. Now, these traders are still in the demo phase. We haven't given them any live capital or anything like that to trade with, at the moment, so they are still really refining their skills and proving themselves on, on demo before we actually take them forward. That being said, they are all crushing it. They're making consistent results and consistent progress as well, which we're very, very happy to see. Now, that pretty much is going to wrap up this vlog for this episode of Day in the Life. If you haven't already looked into joining the KB trading community, I highly recommend you do so. It'll be the top link in the description. You'll get to see my analysis day in, day out. You get to take part in our weekly workshops. Our Task Tuesdays is something that we run as well. And we do Q&A and live market breakdowns every Saturday as well. If you did enjoy this video, guys, please drop it a like. It means the world, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Just walk out.
Or you go, thanks guys, see you in the next one. Boop. No, you need to go down at the same time.
Right, you do it.
Right, bye guys. I'm just gonna go downstairs now. Beep. Too fast.
Too fast.
Too fast. Or...